Welcome, radiant soul, to this sacred space of stillness and mystery. As you breathe in, allow the veil between the worlds to soften. As you breathe out, release all expectations. Let this be your moment of connection, not just with the cards, but with the unseen currents that move quietly beneath your life. I welcome Spirit to walk beside us now, to illuminate the path before you with symbols, signs, and silent knowing. Whatever message flows through these cards today, may it find you at the perfect time, as no meeting here is ever by chance. The first energy rising from the deck is the Knight of Pentacles, appearing in the form of the slowing down card. This is not a moment for rushing forward. This is the stillness of early dawn when the world pauses to breathe. You may feel like you're caught in a loop of repetition, each day folding into the next, but beneath that quiet rhythm, something steady is being built. Like a gardener tending earth in silence, you are planting intentions with each small task, each decision made in faith. And though you may not yet see the blossoms, trust that roots are deepening beneath the surface. This card reminds you that true progress doesn't always look dramatic, it feels aligned. You are not lost. You are simply being guided by the sacred pace of divine timing. Now, the Nothingness card rises mysterious and vast. This is the Hierophant in disguise. And in this form, it offers no clear shape, no structure, only space. A blank canvas, a deep inhale before the sacred utterance. Nothingness can be terrifying, but also deeply liberating. For in the void, you are no longer bound by old paradigms. In this space, you are the creator, free to choose again, to see differently, to walk a path that is yours alone, not inherited, not imposed. What beliefs are asking to be released? What old forms have become too tight for the soul you are becoming? Let the silence answer. Then, from the stone cracks of hardship, the Courage card pushes through, a delicate bloom rising from barren rock. This is the Strength card, reimagined. You have weathered storms. You have survived winters that others could not see. And now, against all odds, you bloom. Courage here is not loud. It's not the roar of the lion. It is the whisper of the flower that still reaches for the light, even when all it has known is shadow. You may feel fragile, but there is power in your softness, wisdom in your wounds. You are not broken. You are being shaped. Together, these three cards form a triad of sacred pause. Slowing down, nothingness, courage. Like stepping stones across a foggy river, each asks you to trust the path even when you cannot see the shore. The energy surrounding you now is one of inner recalibration, of sacred realignment. Not all movement is forward. Some of the most important journeys are inward. So I ask you now, dear traveler of spirit, where in your life are you being asked to slow down? Not because you're behind, but because you're being aligned? What might unfold if you surrender to the sacred rhythm of your becoming? Close your eyes. Feel the stillness. The universe is not in a hurry, and neither should you be. The bloom will come in its own time, and when it does, it will be glorious. As we gently descend into the energy of your past, I invite you to pause, not to relive what once was, but to honor the weight you've carried and the wisdom those burdens have carved into your soul. The first card that arises from the past is Harmony, the Ten of Cups, a sacred symbol of emotional peace. But this harmony was not handed to you easily. It came after turbulence. It followed the storm. This card tells the story of someone who has finally found calm waters after being adrift in emotional chaos. It is the hush after a long cry. The silence when the heart, exhausted, simply begins to breathe again. You may have reached a point not of perfect joy, but of acceptance, of realizing that not every ending is a tragedy, and not every silence is a loss. Sometimes, the greatest healing begins when we stop fighting and simply surrender to what is. And yet, following this tender peace, comes the heavy shadow of the Suppression card. The Ten of Wands, the weight of the world pressing down. This is the image of someone boxed in, crushed beneath the expectations of others, the disappointments, the regrets, the roles you've been forced to play. How long have you silenced your truth to keep the peace? How many times have you dimmed your light, so others wouldn't feel uncomfortable in your glow? This card speaks of a chapter in your life when you felt buried, trapped in a prison not made of walls, but of duty, guilt, and invisible chains. But here is the divine whisper in all this weight. You have carried enough. Both the harmony and suppression cards are tens, the number of completion, of cycles ending, of karma fulfilled. And this tells me, you are standing at the threshold. There is no more story to be lived in that old chapter. No more lessons to be harvested in that field. The soil is barren. The roots have given all they can. It is time to release the burden and lay it down with reverence. There is no shame in being tired. There is no weakness in saying, I can no longer carry this not because I failed, but because I have grown beyond it. Oh lo, as you look back on this emotional landscape, the fleeting peace, the hidden weight, you may feel a strange mixture of grief and relief. That is natural. Even endings that liberate us still ask to be mourned. So now I ask you to breathe. Inhale forgiveness. Exhale the past. Let your exhale carry away the names you were called, the dreams that were denied, the moments you thought you had to earn love by sacrificing yourself. That time is over. Those versions of you have done their sacred work. Now, from the ashes of that suppression, a new self is awakening, a self no longer willing to shrink, a self no longer chained by should and must, a self that dares to speak its truth and follow its fire. So I ask you, brave soul of many lifetimes, what are you finally ready to release, not in anger, but in peace? What burden can you lay down today, not because it broke you, but because it no longer defines you? Take a moment, close your eyes, feel the weight lift from your shoulders. That was never yours to carry forever. The doorway opens, the cycle ends, and in the quiet after, you are free. After the storm has passed, after the silence settles like dust on the old stories, something stirs, not a loud thunderclap, not a sudden miracle, but a gentle flicker of life, as if the soul, having exhaled its grief, has begun to remember joy. Two messengers appear now, radiant and young in spirit, the Page of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. In the language of the Osho deck, they are playfulness and adventure. And oh, what a blessing it is to feel the spark of newness. After a long season of heaviness, this is the first warm ray of sun touching the skin after a cold, endless winter. It may feel unfamiliar, but it is real. The Page of Wands is the child within you that still believes in magic, that still wants to dance barefoot in the rain, to follow the music even when there is no beat. This card tells you there is joy ahead, but you must let yourself reach for it. Even if you feel silly, even if it scares you. The Page of Pentacles walks beside him, feet steady, eyes wide with curiosity. Where Wands brings the fire of inspiration, Pentacles brings the grounding of purpose. Together they whisper, you are free to begin again, to be both curious and committed, to trust that even the smallest step forward matters. You are being guided to begin a new journey, whether it is a project, a passion, or a version of yourself you've never dared to live out loud. There is something fresh in the air. Can you feel it? But even in this beautiful unfolding, there is a shadow still clinging, like a mist in the corner of your mind. From the depths of the deck, the Devil card emerges. A reminder, even as we grow, the old binds may try to pull us back. You may still feel the echo of control, a relationship, a job, a situation that made you feel like your wings had been clipped. Manipulation, power struggles, emotional entanglements. It's like a dream you've woken from, but the feeling lingers. This card warns gently, do not let fear disguise itself as safety. Do not return to the chains simply because they are familiar. And beneath it all, the Three of Pentacles appears. A sign that your work, your true soul-aligned work, is calling you. But to rise, to build, you must cut the cords that keep you tied to that which no longer honors you. Let go of the need to please the puppet masters. You were not born to dance on strings. You were born to create. So I ask you now, with all softness and sincerity, what new adventure is whispering your name, and what part of you is afraid to answer it? Can you hold both the joy of becoming and the fear of beginning in the same sacred hands? Remember, you are not who you were. You are not where you've been. You are standing at the threshold of possibility, with two radiant pages lighting the way. The world doesn't need the polished version of you. It needs the honest one, the curious one, the courageous one who still dares to believe in new beginnings. Take a deep breath. The path is opening, and every step you take from here is a step toward your becoming. There comes a moment, after the dark night, when the tide begins to turn, not because everything suddenly becomes easy, but because you, dear soul, have changed the way you stand in the storm. As we move forward on your path, Spirit brings forth a cluster of signs, each one a marker that your persistence is finally bearing fruit. The first to arise is the Ace of Pentacles, a card shimmering with the promise of new abundance. It shows a woman digging into the earth, uncovering treasure hidden beneath layers of time and toil. This is not luck, this is reward. The universe is responding to the seeds you've planted in silence, to the nights you stayed the course when all you wanted was to give up. Now, finally, something golden begins to emerge. It may come as a new job offer, a project, a financial opportunity, or even a renewed sense of value in yourself. Whatever form it takes, know this: it's real, and it's meant for you. Then appears the World, Saturn's final blessing, a card of completion, of cycles fully lived, and wisdom hard won. You've passed the test, even if you didn't know you were taking one. You've endured the silence, the waiting, the inner battles. And now, Spirit says, you are ready, ready to receive, ready to rise, ready to begin again, but on higher ground. But let's not pretend it was easy. There was legal tension or conflict, symbolized by the Knight of Swords, a card ablaze with urgency and sharp truths. This may have been a legal battle, a confrontation, or harsh news. Perhaps you felt like you were fighting just to survive, like life kept asking you to prove yourself again and again. And yet, sitting beside that fire is the Six of Rods, the card of victory. This is not a quiet win. This is you rising, crowned not by applause alone, but by your own courage to keep showing up. A message is coming, one that lifts your spirit, a sign that justice is not just a dream, but a divine law that will not be denied forever. Supporting this are the Three of Cups: celebration, support, connection. Your soul tribe, your true allies, are gathering around you in the ether and the earth. There will be a moment soon where you laugh without fear, where you look around and realize you are no longer alone. The energy of celebration echoes again in the Nine of Cups, the card of emotional satisfaction. A wish fulfilled, something you've long held in your heart, finally arriving. It may have seemed impossible once, but now the impossible is bending in your favor. And still, the practical world tugs at your thoughts. The Six of Pentacles appears, reminding you that balance is needed. You may still be facing financial tightness, perhaps considering a loan, assistance, or support. But Spirit gently reminds you, you are not weak for needing help. You are human. And this too is part of the dance of give and receive. You are not meant to carry everything alone. So as this cycle of hardship turns, as justice breathes life into your tired lungs, and as new opportunities blossom at your feet, I ask you to remember this. Are you willing to believe that life can be kind again? Can you hold the memory of pain and still allow joy to find you? Let go of the guilt. Let go of the need to prove. Let the blessings arrive without resistance. You have already paid the price. Now it is time to receive the reward. The wheel turns, the tide rises, and so do you. There are moments in life when the soul, once silenced by sorrow, begins to stir again. It's subtle at first, a whisper, a flicker, a gentle nudge from Spirit. You're not done yet. And now, at this sacred end of the reading, we arrive not at a conclusion, but at a threshold. Not a full stop, but a new breath. The Ace of Rods emerges, a staff of light in the darkened forest. It carries the fire of creation, the spark of new passion. This is a new beginning unlike the others, not born from desperation, but from choice. A project, a calling, an awakening. This wand is extended to you from the divine. Will you take it? The yellow sky in the card glows with promise. But the path forward will require faith and effort. And so, the Queen of Cups appears next. Your card, the intuitive, the dreamer, the healer. But look closely, she's not smiling. There is sorrow in her eyes, not because she is weak, but because she feels everything so deeply. You may be looking back right now at what was lost, at what you wish had turned out differently. Grief does not vanish when new opportunities arrive. And that's okay. Even now, your heart may ache. You may feel isolated, even in moments of hope. But Spirit whispers gently, you are never truly alone. The past may still echo in the chambers of your soul, but it does not get to dictate your future. Beside her rises the Five of Rods. Conflict, competition, challenge. A reminder, your path forward may not be easy. There may be others fighting for the same space, the same dream. You will be tested, but this is not a warning, it is an invitation. An invitation to show up fully, to prepare, to hone your craft, to speak your truth with clarity and power. This is not the time to shrink. This is the time to stand tall, not with arrogance, but with certainty. You belong here, in this arena, on this path, in this life. And so, we turn to the final whispers from Spirit through the Angel Tarot, which offers the 9 of Earth. Enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, successful self-employment. You are stepping into a season of sovereignty, of financial independence, of finding joy in your own company, peace in your own presence. You are no longer begging for scraps of love or attention. You are becoming whole. The Unity card appears next, the Hierophant once again, but this time transformed. This time, he is a teacher, a guide, a reminder that the path you walk now is not just for yourself, but for others. You are not just a student of life. You are becoming a mentor, a light bearer. Whether through formal study or lived experience, your wisdom will ripple outward, quietly blessing those you encounter. And finally, the 8 of Cups, the sacred goodbye. You are walking away now, not in bitterness, but in liberation. You are leaving behind a landscape that no longer sings to your soul. And though it may hurt, you are following the call of something more meaningful. This is the journey of the seeker, the wanderer, the mystic. So I leave you now with this final reflection. What are you willing to leave behind in order to find yourself? Can you trust the unknown, even when the path ahead disappears into mist? Dear one, this is not the end. This is the beginning of the version of you that you came here to become. Let the fire guide you. Let your heart stay open. And remember, you are exactly where you need to be. The cards have spoken, the path is blessed, and Spirit walks with you always.